Alright guys, so this week we're going to show you 3 new species of animals we haven't showed you before here on YouTube, and we're excited to have them.
We got red Ackie monitors, a great little dwarf species of monitors. We got tiger salamanders, probably one of the most popular amphibians in the reptile trade. And the last one is ball pythons, arguably the most popular reptile available in the reptile market, definitely in snakes. And we're excited to finally offer you guys some nice high-end select ball pythons.
So the first animal we wanted to talk to you guys about and actually show you is one of my favorite monitor species, and it's the Ackie monitor, also known as the spiny-tailed monitor.
One of the things that make these guys really cool is the fact that they don't get very big. You know, most monitors, everyone loves monitors, and the only thing about them is some can reach 6, 7, 8, even 9 feet. That's, you know, for most people that's unmanageably big. These red Ackies only get about 24 inches, which is about 2 feet, and that includes tail.
Yeah, and the biggest they'll get is about 30 inches if you get like a big one, but like Manny said, 24 inches is pretty standard, and so that's very manageable if you want like a little velociraptor type animal that's going to be actively hunting all the insects and everything in its sight. It's going to be a really cool pet. And obviously they're a monitor lizard, so they're very, very smart. They'll actually eat insects, small rodents like pinkies. They'll eat meat. And what's cool about them too is that they're from like the arid areas of Australia, so they like to burrow into, not burrow, but like they like to stuff themselves, jam themselves into rock crevices. So you're gonna keep the enclosure kind of arid. You could have some like wood vines or some branches and a lot of rock layers for them to climb on and like kind of jam themselves into, because that's what they do in nature, in the wild.
Yeah, and they also do come from a hot spot in Australia, so they do like it pretty hot.
Yeah.
They like a floor temperature of about like 150 degrees. You know, that's not arid temperature. Arid temperature you want it in like air temperature you want it about around 100. Cool side like 90s. You know,
So 100 on the warm side, and then on the cooler side like 80s to 90s. Yeah.
Exactly. So you want to let them be able to thermoregulate. That means when they want to warm up, they go to the hot side, and when they want to cool down, they just go either burrow or go to the cool side of the tank.
Yeah, and like Manny said, the surface temperature of the hot spot is going to be around 150 degrees, 140, 150 degrees. Now, it's really hard to tell what the temperature is on the surface area unless you have a temperature gun, and we always recommend that. They sell them at Home Depot. They're called infrared temperature guns. You could get one for like 15 bucks, and you could point exactly where on the tank you want to see what temperature it is, and it's going to tell you. So that's a very, very important tool to have if you're going to keep an Ackie monitor.
Or, to be honest, all reptiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, the next animal we're going to talk about now is the ball python, the most famous snake in the reptile trade. The reason being, they just roll up into a ball, man. They're great little pets. They're probably one of the easiest snakes to keep, if not the easiest. They don't get very big, so it's not unmanageable. Males get about like 4 feet, females can get up to 5. Again, that's not very big because these snakes, you know, they are long. They're not the thickest animals. They eat mainly rodents. You know, depending on the size, you're gonna start off from like hopper mice to even large rats, depending on how big your ball python is.
Yeah, and the cool thing about ball pythons is they come in a wide variety of colors. They're probably the snake with the most variety of morphs out there. There's leucistic, there's piebald, albino, all those cool morphs. And it makes it very easy for anybody to just jump in and say, oh, I like this color, oh, I like this pattern, I like this or that, you know. So it's very, you know, there's basically a paint job for anybody who likes any reptiles or snakes at least. And like Manny was saying, they are the most popular snake out there. They're literally anybody that you've met that has a snake probably has a ball python. So they're very simple to keep. They, you know, it's just as easy as having a warm side of about about like 88 to 95 degrees on the warm side, and on the cooler side about like 80 degrees is fine. And you want to make sure that they have a water bowl, and that's pretty much it. They don't require any lights, and they eat very little, about once a week when they're younger, and then when they get older they could even eat less than that. And lastly, we wanted to talk about the yellow-barred tiger salamander, one of the coolest amphibians in my opinion. We don't mess with a lot of amphibians, but when we do, we got to get the cool things. So yellow-barred tiger salamander.
One of the things that make these guys so cool is that their coloration. They have a gorgeous like yellow and black patterning coloration on them. They're also very, very hardy, and for us non-amphibian people, that makes stuff very easy for us, because all you gotta do is keep them nice and cool, below 80 degrees, room temperatures preferred.
Yeah, they can handle temperatures of anywhere from, like, if your house is as cold as 50 degrees to like up to 80 degrees, they'll be fine. Like Manny said, they're very hardy.
And they honestly will eat anything you put in their face, like any good amphibian. We mainly feed them insects like crickets, superworms, mealworms, roaches, depending on how big the individual salamander is. And as soon as we start throwing crickets in there, they just start going crazy.
So when you're setting up one of these tiger salamanders, it's very simple. The way we do it is we give them a big water bowl. We also give them you could give them like dirt, like peat moss, or like eco earth mixed with like sphagnum moss, something that's going to keep the humidity very well, because as we know, amphibians do like higher humidities. About like 70% will be perfect. And you want to give them a good layer because they do like to burrow a lot. So if you have a tiger salamander, give them a big water bowl, you feed them insects, and you give them a good layer of substrate that they could burrow in.
And we personally like to keep these guys in tubs, because it helps with the humidity. It helps keep the humidity in much better than, let's say, like a glass aquarium. But they're very versatile. They'll do fine in glass, they'll do fine in tubs. As long as there is some form of ventilation, you don't want it completely closed off. But like David said, very easy. Some kind of soil or something that was going to hold in humidity that's going to allow it to burrow. Some hides helps as well, and a nice water dish. You do got to be careful though with amphibians. You don't want to just throw in tap water, chlorine water. You just, that could cause them a lot more harm. We like purified water, like reverse osmosis water is the best kind of water. But anything that gets rid of the heavy metals, like fish water, you kind of treat it like a fish.
Yeah, and the tiger salamanders, they come from all over North America, so they can literally be down by Mexico up by Canada. They're all over the United States. So that just proves how versatile they can be, how hardy they are, because they take up a lot of different climates in North America.
And they're also pretty big. They're actually one of the larger salamanders that are available in the reptile trade. They can get a good size, like 12, 13, 14 inches, and that is a very, very impressive animal when it gets to that size.
Alright guys, that's gonna wrap up another video, and hope you enjoyed it. As always, remember that
make sure you follow us on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. We put TikTok now. We put individual content on every single social media platform. So if you like what we do, make sure you check out our stuff. And also, if you like our videos, hit the subscribe button down below. And all these animals you saw here today are already up on our website, available, ready for you guys. So we're going to put the link below. So if you're interested in any of these animals we mentioned, hit the link below.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week. Manny, punch it down.
You elbow it.